Ladies and gentlemen, Ted Raimi.
Hi, folks. How's everybody doing? Oh, man. Okay, there we go. Is this mic work? Yeah, it sucks a little bit, but okay. How's everybody doing? Good. What you guys doing? You having a good time? Yeah, all right. Okay. That was a standard question I'd sort of like to ask when I get here. What's your credit card numbers? No, I'm kidding. Question I want to ask is everyone seen everyone they want to see yet? Or not? No, not yet. No. So you got days. There's so many celebrities here. There's like so many celebrities. I mean, I've been in this business for 43 years now. 43 years! Who are you? Who the hell are you? And I, you know, when I started, you know, you wouldn't want to be known as a horror actor. Hard to believe for you younger folks, but it's true. Like, it was back when I started in the late 80s, it was a little bit better than doing porn. Not a lot, but a little. And if producers saw that on your resume, they'd be like, well, he's not washing cars and he's not doing porn, so I guess he's better than a guy that was doing those things, so I'll consider him maybe for a production assistant job or sweeping the floor after the real actors leave. But no, you wouldn't really want to be known for that. But I loved it so much in those days that when I would go in to read for big directors, horror directors, I knew all their movies. Like, most actors wouldn't bother any more, believe it or not, than you might bother, for example, knowing a director of a pornographic movie. Why would you care? And in the same sense, Hollywood was much like that in those days. Now everything's completely reversed, where it's very, very hard to get an audition with a famous horror director, but in those days it was easier. And I would go in really enthused, you know, and I would be very interested. I'm not sure I was like maybe so much better of an actor than some of the people that read. It's just that I would look them in the eye. And a lot of the actors wouldn't, because they'd be like, can we just get this done with? I got to pay my rent, and I don't want anyone to know I'm here. And that was kind of the vibe, you know? But it's crazy. Totally different now. Totally different. It's crazy. Okay, so what should we do? Q&A? You guys want to ask questions? Okay. All right, this gentleman's going to moderate it.
All right, everybody. Who's got the first question?
Oh, my God, that's comfortable.
Right there, you're going to kick it off, all right? Make it a good one.
Who's got questions?
And of course, it's going to be a non-horror related question.
Non-horror related question.
What was it like
Wait, do you know where you are? This is a horror convention. Well, I'll help you out. So when I make cakes, I never put the oven. I'm just making fun of you. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. You're ruining it for everybody, but go ahead anyway. It's all right.
Well, maybe semi, because one of your co-stars was very well known for a well-known movie franchise. But what was it like working with Roy Scheider in the Sequest production?
Oh, okay. So for those who don't know, I back in the 90s, I was on a couple different TV shows. One of them was called Sequest DSV. I'm so amazed. That show it's got such a weird revival. Is it just because everything 90s, or are people really interested in that show?
I love it.
Okay, you love it. Okay. All right.
And the dolphin.
And what? Both. Yeah, both. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. Like, you know, for like 30 years, people are like, what is that? Like, and especially like, you know, like young millennials who then were like 20, like, I don't know what that is. And now they're all like, no, it's so cool. 90s are awesome. I mean, they don't say awesome. That's what I would say. But, oh, this fire. Sorry. You know, so I think that's right terminology for Gen Zers. Excuse me if I'm maligning your slang. Apologize. But it's, you know, it's all skibbity to me anyway. So, I loved working on that show. I really enjoyed it. And your question was, what was it like working with Roy Scheider on it? Great. I loved Roy. Roy was a true, theater actor who became a movie star. Roy came very close to winning an Oscar many times, but did not win one. I think he was nominated 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times, but never really got to hold that statue, which is a shame because he was great. But I loved working with him. He was very much, Roy was, while he was kind of salty and a little cantankerous, like he is in his movie characters, Roy always stood up for us actors. Like, if a producer would come in and go, "Hey, cast, we're gonna need you for the next 2 days during your weekend time to take pictures, okay? So just come on in tomorrow." And then Roy, we'd all go, "Well, okay." And Roy would go, "Nah. Saturday and Sunday is our time. You shoot on your fucking time." And we'd go, "Damn, awesome, Roy's great." So he would do stuff like, Roy was tough, and we loved that about him. So it was a joy. And not only that, he was a phenomenal actor who was very generous with his acting time, never stole focus, a common thing that some perhaps more inexperienced and frightened actors would do, but he never did. So he was awesome. Who else has a question? Yes, sir, or miss, you.
Hello, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm interested in the filmmaking process.
Yeah.
What has been your most favorite and your least favorite scenes to film in any of your movies? Do you have favorites or least favorites?
Most favorite and least favorite? I don't know actual scenes. I don't know if I could list those, but the most fulfilling and best experience I've ever had shooting was a video game. Was a game called The Quarry that was directed by Will Biles, made by Supermassive Games. And I thought that was that because it was kind of the perfect storm. I had an A+ script, an A+ cast, and an A+ director. And every time I would be on set, I had to come up to everybody's level. You don't hope that those actors are going to come up to yours. You have to come up to theirs. And so you bring your best every single time. And that was the best. The worst? Plenty of movies where they never paid me. And those sucked, I had a bunch of those, like, "We'll get the checks to you." Oh, okay. That didn't work out.
Did you get paid for selling the condoms in the bathroom for Blood Rage?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I mean, this was like a 1983 non-union movie, drive-in movie, so I think I got like $19.36, but yes, I did, Of course, remember in the early 80s, you could get 3 slices of pizza for $1. They were very different financial days. So, yes. Who else has questions?
Who else out there? Right here.
Hey.
So I'm pretty sure I'm the wrong age demographic for this Q&A, but what inspired you?
You're not going to talk about porn, are you?
I'll consider it. What inspired you to do your first horror film?
Good question. Horror was an escape for me as a kid. I was a rather lonely kid, and my mother loved all movies, so she would let me see them all. But very different than the way you grew up. If you want a movie, you have about 100 ways to see it. So there's all the streaming channels, there's video on demand for you, there are tons of free channels that you can watch on YouTube or somewhere else. There are numerous illegal sites if you are inclined, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a million ways to see movies. But when I was a kid, there's only one, and that was on TV. And you had to be lucky to catch it because it only played at a certain time. And so I would wait up like for 2 hours for this movie to come on, if whatever it was, and I'd sit there and I'd watch it judiciously, and I loved it. So it was an escape, and a lot of the ones late at night that I was, my parents would kind of like forget about it, I would watch them, and they were horror, and I just wound up associating that with being very happy, And I also, I don't know why, I always had a predilection for the more morbid things. As I got older, I enjoyed visiting graveyards. I liked mortuariums and places like that. It always held a lot of interest for me. And so I think it was natural that I gravitated towards horror. I read a great deal as a kid, too, being a lonely kid. So I read a lot of horror authors, all different kinds. And that really sort of solidified in my mind that I loved it. And then when I discovered acting, well, I tried to veer as much as I could towards it. Yeah. Who else?
Who else? Way over here. I see you in the back. You're next.
Hi. Oh.
Hi. Is there a specific role that you would ever like to revisit?
I'm so sorry. What was your question?
Is there a role that you would ever like to revisit?
One. Yeah, that would be my character of Travis, Officer Hackett in the video game The Quarry, and that's it. That's all I mean, because once you do it, you've done it. I don't think most actors would feel that way, though I don't know, but I don't think so. But I think that's because I grew up doing theater, and so you're one and done. You give it everything, you build the character as much as you can, and you go, and then you're on to the next play, and that's kind of how I grew up learning the business. So I sort of look at movies like that, and when you're done shooting, I feel like, okay, that's it. And then if you're just coming back to it, I'm like, we did this already, It's like, yeah. Who else? Anybody has a question? Yes.
Did you get to keep the costume for Joxer from Hercules?
You're asking me, did I get to keep the costume for Joxer?
Or
Yeah,
that?
I did. Why? Do you want to buy it?
I can.
What?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes, I do have the costume for Joxer. I come across it once in a while in my attic. I'm like, oh, look, here's my old, Joxer costume. And half the time I see it, I go, man, those were the days. And then the other half the time I see it, I go, what the F was I thinking taking this thing off set? It's the stupidest costume I've ever seen in my life. So, I guess, I don't know what I'm going to do with the damn thing. I'm probably going to give it to a museum or something, I've had some offers from some sci-fi museums, they want it, so probably do that. Do I remember the Joxer song? Yes, I remember the Joxer song. Sure I do. Huh? If I was your trained monkey, I'd do the Joxer song.
Out here.
Who else? Anyone have a question?
Right here. Hello.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite icon horror?
A favorite icon of horror?
Yeah.
Yes, I have many of them. I think because it was what was available when I was young, it's what I was always attracted to. And that is the horror host who would come out and seem to live alone in either some nebulous, strange place like a hallway, a dimension, a house, an art gallery, and they would always be well dressed and well spoken, but they never seemed to know anybody or have any family. And I always wondered, how do they eat? Like she's like, does anybody pay their bills? Like, how did they live like that? Like, I was so attracted to those particular horror icons. For example, Alfred Hitchcock, Rod Serling, several hosts from One Step Beyond, E.G. Marshall, voice only from the CBS Radio Mystery Theater, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Arch Obler, who was the creator and host of Dimension X and other shows. So I loved all these so much, and now I'm being of an age where I can do that. I wanted that to happen, so I created a show like that, and we're making it right now. It's a horror interview show that's going to premiere hopefully at the end of the year on Screambox TV. It's called Your Dearest, Darkest Friend with Ted Raimi. And on that show, I will interview hopefully some of the greatest horror names. It'll really be more of an insider show and less like a traditional talk show because, of course, I'm in the business too. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be part Alfred Hitchcock Presents and part Pee-wee's Playhouse. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. You know, yes. Who else has a question?
Any questions
Anybody?
out there?
I'm sure we don't go over.
One big final good one.
We got time for a couple more, I think.
All right.
Who else?
What was it like working with Lucy Lawless?
Hubba, no. These questions. That's a question. That's what people want to say. Let me tell you. No, Lucy's great. She was a incredibly professional lady who took her job very seriously, and you know, it was refreshing to be on a set that she knew every single one of her lines and everybody else's lines too. So she had quite a memory, quite a very impressive memory. And you know, she never, I think maybe never having lived in Hollywood and and had to deal with the Hollywood scene, she was strangely innocent and unaffected by that world. At least at that time, you know, I mean, it affects everybody somehow, eventually, but at that point, no. So it was lovely to work with her. Who else? Anybody? Yes?
Since you worked with him a lot, or did a lot of roles with him, was there a time when Bruce Campbell really embarrassed you?
No. I hope that answered that. I don't know what else to say. It's quite a direct question. I have to answer directly. No, of course not. Who else? Anybody else? Nobody else. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I'm done. How about that? Thank you, folks.
Everybody.
Thank you very much. It was lovely to see all of you. Excellent questions, and see you all out there.